Hey everyone, it's me Sonia with another day of Vlogmas. And today I'd just like to talk about the postal strike and the effect that it's having on our country and on me personally. There's literally no real proper alternative to having Canada Post operational. That's why this strike has become, I believe, really a crisis here in Canada. So the strike is hitting nearly the 3-week mark. It is a full strike. All our postal system, well, Canada Post, is shut down with no end in sight right now, as I've told you about in my previous videos. So the biggest effect that this is having on me is as a reseller, because I'm on Poshmark, who uses exclusively Canada Post so they can mail to everywhere in Canada. Since I'm in that situation, my business online is basically completely gridlocked, and same for everyone else who's on Poshmark Canada. That's been scary for me, and it's been pushing me to move towards other platforms. I feel like there's this urgency for me to get my eggs out of just being in one basket, which I should have done a long time ago, but I deal with a lot of anxiety when it comes to learning new things with apps and technology, and also with logging into things. If you're wondering why, it's because we got hacked in 2011 and I was very traumatized and I never really recovered. And ever since then, I have trouble like with apps and logins, but it is what it is. So I've been pushing myself. So what people were saying was, well, if you can't sell on Poshmark, this is a good time to get on eBay and Etsy, right? And use courier companies like Chit Chats or Stallion, etc., to get your mail out. Well, we have a problem now, which is that Chit Chats and Stallion are so overwhelmed that, well, Stallion is not taking any more packages. I don't know about Chit Chats, but it's getting to the point where the courier companies cannot handle the volume. So this is affecting us as resellers. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going to start putting all kinds of stuff on eBay.com and Etsy and promising American customers packages that I can't deliver, which kind of suits me fine, because this whole, urgent need to pivot and shift and get on other platforms has been just mentally overwhelming. Like, I feel mentally drained by the amount of new stuff that I've had to learn in the last few days. Like, I really just feel like I don't want to do this right now. I just want a break. I was pushing through that, but I feel burnt out with it, to be honest. So it kind of suits me fine to just say, like, I'm throwing in the towel. I mean, I'm waving the white flag, throwing in the towel for now, not forever. I needed a break anyway. But here's the other thing. A lot of people in Canada, besides just Poshmark sellers, are relying on these alternate couriers for the mail, well, the parcel mail in any case, and maybe also documents and whatever of all kinds. And this would mean that they're also not able to get their stuff. Like, there's literally no real proper alternative to having Canada Post operational. That's why this strike has become, I believe, really a crisis here in Canada. I know people said, Sonia, you must be anti-worker. It's not that. It's that I think that this service is so essential that they shouldn't be allowed to be on a full strike. If they were on a partial strike and all my stuff was slowed down, I'd be supporting them, because I want them to have better working conditions and pay. And it's not that I'm not supporting that, and I don't want the corporation of Canada Post to just have an excuse to just not give in, and then the government sends them back to work, and that would mean that unions really have no effect and strikes have no effect. It's not that. It's just that it's so critical. I'm going to tell you some more things that it's affecting, but it is so critical that I think it should be on par with transportation infrastructure, medical services, anything like that. You can't just shut down the mail. Now, here's where it's getting really scary. So, like I said before many times, Canada Post is the only service that delivers to all areas in our very vast country, which includes a lot of small towns, rural destinations. And that's not only the people who live there that can't send out their product, because a lot of them do e-commerce too, but they also can't receive things. And there's a lot of people that live up north that could be 3 hours away from a town where they would be able to go to a pharmacy. So what's literally happening now is that people can't even get their medications. There was a story about a woman who is saying I think she was in the Northwest Territories, and she's saying she's having to ration her asthma inhalers. That just doesn't work. Yes, the postal workers matter, but so do all Canadians. And we've been through a lot through the pandemic. The kids have been through a lot. And now this is just like another layer of hardship and trauma for all of us, and danger also. Not for me because I live in the city. I'm not suffering those kind of hardships. But for the people who are out there who have no way to get things that they need, this could be very serious. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some articles saying that people have died because they couldn't get their medications. So I still want the strike to end. Or please, please move to a rotating strike. This is just, it's so horrible. I don't know if you guys can imagine in the States what would it feel like if like all the sort of national mail was just shut down, you know? The more this goes on, like the more the shit gets real, and like the harder it is, and the more options are blocked off. So yeah, like the alternative courier companies are starting to like refuse to take more packages because they have too much. And now also the United States is not sending any packages up to Canada because they're just going to get stuck at the border. So there's no like cross-border mail. As far as I understand, I think it's the USPS that's not sending anything, but I mean, really, it's just awful. So I'll tell you what I've been doing, trying to understand how to get on eBay and list to ebay.com. Although now I'm like, you know, pause. This isn't going to happen right now. I want to get on Etsy. I'm trying to get on Depop. Like I'm working on all these things. And it's a scary thought to see that everything that I've built on Poshmark, that I could risk losing like the whole thing. I need to like at least get that inventory listed somewhere so I don't lose my listings, or I'm gonna have to rebuild them from scratch. But I feel like having to absorb all this information, like I said, it's making my brain grind. Like I literally can't take any more. As I'm saying that, I'm like, is it I can't, or is it just I won't, or is my anxiety? But I feel like I've like hit a limit on like how much I can handle, to be honest. As far as like, yeah, I feel like my head is spinning. I'm trying so hard and I feel like I'm just maxed out. I'm not gonna, give up completely, but yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to like resort to prayer and hope that God finds a way for me, makes a way for me, because I really love reselling, and since I don't have any stuff to do for it, I feel honestly a little bit lost too. Like it's really my passion, and I love restoring the clothes, like fixing little things like little stitchings or embroidery or stain removal or whatever. I love to restore the beautiful things, and that's what I would spend my evenings doing. And it was like a crossover between work and hobby. And now I find myself like bored and like having nothing to do. It's really weird. It's like making me feel like I'm in this kind of weird limbo where I can't, my routine is completely disrupted. Okay, I sound really autistic now, but I am autistic. My routine is totally disrupted. It's discombobulating me. I'm having a really hard time creating a new routine. I'm going back to to-do lists so I keep on track. Otherwise, it's like I'm confused because I would always do things a certain way and go through my day, and now all of a sudden I've become very inefficient. I'm completely like floundering around and trying to do something productive, trying to learn how to do new things and move, and just getting completely swamped. It has been really, really strange. After, imagine a year and 9 months of poshing and having all that in my life, the sourcing, the restoration, the photography, the listing, interacting with customers, shipping. That's like a big part, right? It's like a second job. Poof, it's gone. I'm so confused. But that's just me. That's just me personally. But that is what I'm dealing with. And I'm I don't know. I'm trying to reorganize myself without that being there, but it has been hard. I started to feel like I can't anymore. I'm just gonna listen to crime shows and do Sudoku. But don't worry, I'll get through it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Basically, this whole postal strike is taking a toll on our businesses and it's taking a major toll on my mental health. Well, I'm okay, but the whole thing, yeah, it's been hard. So I just wanted to give you an update for today and tell you what's going on. And I have made a lot of progress with understanding the other sites. So hopefully in my coming updates, I'll be telling you how I managed to get on Etsy and I'll be really happy about that. And I'll be fixing up clothes and, getting back in the swing of that. Right now, all I'm doing is listing on Marketplace and praying every time they don't take my listing down. But yeah, this has been a very discombobulating experience. And thanks so much for watching my Vlogmases. I really love to see you guys here and see your comments. I should really go live. It's been way too long. Like after my mother passed away, I just kind of was like, I was so messed up about it. And I guess I'm starting to like recover now. And so I stopped doing my lives, but I should probably at least do a couple while we're doing Vlogmas. Don't forget, you can email me, thetruthergirls@gmail.com, especially if you want anything from my Poshmark. Although, I don't know how to see about the shipping, but anyway, there's always that. Or if you want to drop me a message. And that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.